we see in the book of Ezekiel, a man with an inkhorn rider goes forth to seal those that are moaning and groaning in Israel. Who are the righteous? Well, you have to go into the Old Testament to find out that the servants of God are those who are moaning and groaning and in serious emotional, mental, and spiritual pain over the sin that is in Israel. Not the sin that's in the world, the sin that's in Israel. Because if Israel were in right standing, the sin in the world would be dealt with. I have a suggestion to you as to why Dan is missing. That's been a big question in the church today. Okay, the tribe of Dan is missing, and those that are being sealed. And there are all kinds of opinions out there as to why Dan is missing. Because in the Old Testament, we read in the book of Genesis, when Jacob prophesied over his children, that the lot of Dan is to bite at the heels of the horses, which typify Judah. Judah is the horse of the Lord, and cause them to fall backward. So Dan has a bad reputation as being an evil tribe. You know, Dan is the offspring of Jacob and Rachel's maid. When Rachel thought she couldn't have any children, the Lord honored that both with Rachel and with Leah. They were surrogate mothers. They were surrogate mothers that brought forth Jacob's child. Now, the surrogate mothers that brought forth Leah's children, in my opinion, are insignificant tribes. All of the 12 tribes are not equal, brethren. We know that Judah and Joseph are the most powerful tribes, and of course, Joseph was split into 2 tribes, which were Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim being more important than Manasseh. So Judah and Joseph are the 2 most powerful tribes. You know, all the tribes are not equal. So it's been my observation that the children of the surrogates that brought forth Jacob's children for Leah are insignificant tribes. But Dan is not an insignificant tribe. He's not as powerful, or he's not as important. I don't know about powerful. He's not as important as Joseph or Judah. But he is very important, and there are indications in the scripture and in the Zohar that Dan is the tribe that represents high spirituality in God. If you look in the Zohar, when Balaam was trying to escape, the one man that had the spiritual skills to chase after Balaam was escaping through multiple dimensions. And there have been some science fiction movies about that. I think the Men in Black talk about that criminals from a different spiritual dimension come to this world. When they try to escape, they just go into other spiritual dimensions where they cannot be found. Dan, the only man out of all of Israel, the Israelite armies that were present at the time, that had the ability to jump from one spiritual dimension to another to follow Balaam and catch him in this kind of a race, was a Danite. See? So there are indications in the scripture that the Danites are the tribe that attained to high spirituality. You know. That Judah was given the lot of the law, of being the defenders and the enforcers of the law, of the natural law, of the physical, of the law in this world of action. Joseph, and in particular Ephraim, but Joseph was given the seed of righteousness, that the shepherd would come from one of the tribes of Joseph. And Dan is the tribe that manifests this really high spirituality, which to me is so exciting. I personally cannot wait to experience it, but I've made it very clear to the Lord, I don't want it from any spirit other than His. But that is such an exciting thought to me. Not only to travel in the spirit, but you know what it means to jump from one dimension to another? Do you know what that means? That's talking about time travel. Because different dimensions are different years, different periods in time. See? So I'm just thrilled at even the thought of it. Well, Sheila, what do you do with the scripture that says that Dan will bite the heels of the horses and cause them to fall backward? Well, if you look at it, you look at it spiritually, or you look at it in the interlinear text, backward means the unconscious mind. And this is what the Lord gave me as I was preparing this message. Dan will be if you're a spiritual Danite, and you can be spiritual, you can be more than one tribe, God will use you to bite the heels of the horses. The horses is Judah, brethren. Judah is the tribe that enforces the law in the natural. So that means they tend to be carnal. They're in the earth, they're carnal. So Dan is coming to bite their heels. The heels is the part of them that's in this world. He's going to challenge their carnality and force them, by however the conflict will come to pass, he's going to force them to start dealing with the true spirituality. He's going to force Judah to stop looking at this law. They're myopic. They can't get their minds off of the law and start looking at the spiritual life, that the spiritual relationship that Jehovah wants to have with them. So Dan will be used to poke the carnal Jew and the carnal spiritual Jew. The Danites are sent to prick them, to make them start to think, no. And brethren, we can have Judeans right here. We have people that are stuck on the law right in a ministry like this. And maybe all of us are like that, some a little more, some a little less. There has to be some area of our lives in which we're still thinking according to the law. So I come along and I give you a poke, and I poke you with the words in my mouth. See? And some of you used to get very upset with me because I'm poking you with the words in my mouth. But my whole intention is to get you to start looking, to go backward and start looking backward into your mind. Start looking back into the unconscious part of your mind. Go to the back. Not backward, but go to the back. See? That's my intention with you, to push you to go to the back. See, if you're working with images on any kind of a computer program, if you're working with an image, there's an option to send it to the back or send it to the front. Where is your consciousness going to abide? Are you going to stay carnal? Are you going to look at everything with your carnal mind? Are you going to be looking for proof that your eyes can see? Or are you going to learn to function with spiritual proof, which is all in the terms of discernment? See? So if you're interacting, if you're a person like that your tendency is to look at things with your natural mind, then to you I am a Danite. When I come over and say, no, that's carnal thinking, try and look at it spiritually. Go back into your unconscious mind. Go back into the realm of potential, and look at it. Look at this thing out of the realm of potential, which means there's more than one potential for its reality. Well, I saw the proof of it. I saw this in the natural. Okay. Stop that, I'm going to tell you. Go back into your unconscious mind, into the realm of potential, and see what else it might mean. So that's the role of Dan, okay? They are a thorn in the side. We Danites, we are a thorn in the side of Judeans, carnal people who are reluctant to or having a problem giving up their comfort zone. What is their comfort zone? Well, it's really easy. This is black. Is it black? This is green, okay? This pen is green. It's green. Why are you telling me it's not green? That's my comfort zone. I can see with these eyes that it's green. But if you watch the Matrix, we see this little boy saying, the spoon is not real. And he makes a rigid spoon move. And he says to Neo, there is no spoon. The spoon didn't move. You moved. There is no spoon. So you're saying, Sheila, what are you talking about? That pen is green. It's as green as can be. I see it. And I'm telling you, there is no spoon.